From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening, I'm Michael Handy.
And I'm Brad Broders. Thanks for joining us for the March 3rd edition of Carolina Week. Our top story tonight. Armed with signs, nearly 750 people gathered peacefully in the Upper Quad Sunday for a protest and march against the possible war in Iraq.
Now I'm going off to Iraq to throw my life away.
The event started with anti-war folk music and then moved to speeches from various faculty, students, and community members, all voicing their concerns about unilateral action against the Iraqi regime.
There are no discussions in the halls of our government about whether it is consistent with the highest moral values of our nation to actually start a war, to fire the first shot, to launch an assault, to kill the innocent children of a nation that has not attacked us.
The speakers finished in the quad. The protesters took to the streets in a peaceful march monitored by police. Those who marched walked west from Franklin Street to Weaver Street in Carrboro. Along the way, the protesters were met by cheering store owners and a smattering of opposition. The campaign to end the cycle of violence and Students United for a Responsible Global Environment sponsored the event.
Even though the Department of Homeland Security has lowered the terror threat level from orange to yellow, officials on the Carolina campus are continuing to make preparations in response to a possible threat. Carolina students seem unfazed by the potential danger, but UNC Chief of Police Derek Porch says his department is monitoring the international situation closely.
The main thing that we're doing is making sure that we use several different types of venues to get information related to what's going on around the country, and more particularly what impact that will have on campus.
So far, public safety has received no specific threats to Carolina, but the agency is still taking extra precautions.
We've stepped up some patrols around campus. We're encouraging people that if they see anything suspicious related to packages or persons or vehicles, that they let public safety know.
Campus security isn't the only concern. If an attack happens, rescue workers might send some of the victims to UNC's trauma center, making safety there a chief priority. Hospital Security Chief Tom Smith explains.
We've been doing lots and lots of things prior to the elevation in security level from Homeland Security, including reviewing our disaster plans, the bomb threat plans.
Also, there are several new security policies in place at the hospital. Security guards are outside directing traffic. Parking along curbs is prohibited, and unattended vehicles will be towed immediately. With all the preparations, both hospital security and public safety say they're ready if Homeland Security raises the terror threat level again. Homeland Security says the end of the Muslim Hajj holiday period played a role in the decision to lower the threat level.
With the threat level back down to yellow, U.S. officials are concentrating on preparing for war with Iraq.
They are experts in denial and deception.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the university's government's top military advisor, General Richard B. Myers, visited the UNC Chapel Hill campus on Friday. He met with ROTC students and answered questions about Iraq, the war against terrorism, and the U.S. military. General Myers says the U.S. won't make the decision to go to war.
In the end, who really determines that is the Iraqi regime.
During his visit, General Myers had a chance to go to the men's basketball game against Georgia Tech and visit with some ROTC students at NC State.
What do you get when you bring a heavyweight champion to visit sick kids? Media mayhem. That was the scene Saturday morning at UNC Children's Hospital. Four-time heavyweight boxing champion Evander Holyfield dropped by to sign T-shirts, and former New York Yankee Cecil Fielder signed baseballs. Some of the children might have been too young to appreciate the honor. Holyfield praised the hospital staff, saying they're making a difference in our community, one child at a time.
You can get overwhelmed saying, I want to save the world, but where do you start? You start in the community, and we're happy to be able to come to the hospital here and be able to see so many fine doctors and nurses and taking care of the kids, and it's just a lot easier for us to come in and make them smile.
The Children's Hospital admits children regardless of their family's ability to pay.
Well, they give the phrase "all that jazz" new meaning. The UNC Chapel Hill Jazz Band performed for a packed house in Hill Hall Auditorium Saturday night. The concert was part of the Carolina Jazz Festival, a series of concerts and workshops for college and high school students. The concert features songs like "Traveling Light" and "I Just Found Out About Love." The next jazz band performance is April 15th in Hill Hall Auditorium at 8 p.m.
This group didn't know what they were going to say, but they knew it would be funny.
I do run, 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 I do run, run, do yeah. Everybody likes to usher, to do yeah. And that's a lot of pressure, to do yeah.
Carolina's student improv group CHIPS hosted the 3rd annual Dirty South Improv Festival this weekend. The festival brought in 20 different improv troupes from across the country. The 3-day event included 5 different shows, in addition to workshops for budding comedians. College troupes and professional improv groups performed, and of course, so did the members of CHIPS. Their next show will be April 11th.
Wednesday, the Bush administration's Title IX Commission finished its investigation of the 30-year-old gender equity law designed to provide opportunities for female athletes. The report, called Open to All, Title IX at 30, contains 4 unanimous recommendations. It suggests the Department of Education reaffirm its commitment to equal opportunity for men and women, reinforce its disapproval of cutting teams in order to comply with Title IX, aggressively enforcing Title IX uniformly across the country, and giving equal weight to the 3 components of the law. Schools must meet proportionality requirements, provide increasing opportunities for women, or meet student-athletes' interests and abilities to comply with the law. Though Carolina doesn't give equal weight to the 3 components, administrators say the university is in compliance with Parts 2 and 3 of the law and will continue to be as proportional as possible. Well, that does it for news.
Stay tuned. Sports Spotlight is next with a look at this weekend's sports.
Have a good one.
I can listen. I can cook. Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help.
You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nick.
I'm Drew.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're from 98 Degrees.
And we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving.
We all make difficult choices each and every day.
Before you drink, make the right choice. Designate a driver.
Now, what should you do to stop a friend from driving who's been drinking? Whatever you have to, because when you drink and drive, we all lose.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports Spotlight. I'm Aaron Mesmer. Coming up, some Carolina teams try to win it for the seniors. The wrestling team also tries to send their coach out with a win. First, it was an exciting weekend in basketball. Just scrapping the 500 mark, the men's basketball team looked to snap a 2-game losing skid against Georgia Tech, which throttled the Heels by 20 last month in Atlanta. UNC gets off to a hot start in the first half, led by Raymond Felton and sophomore Jackie Manuel. But Georgia Tech regains its shooting touch, taking a 5-point lead into the locker room. The second half is back and forth until GT goes up by 10 with 8 minutes left. Carolina doesn't panic as Jawad Williams and company slowly whittle away at the Jackets' lead. With the Heels down 66-65 with less than 10 seconds left, a Tech foul sends Felton to the line, where he connects on not 1, but 2 free throws. And Georgia Tech can't get a shot off, and even though Tech hadn't won a road game all season, Carolina fans rush the court. UNC coach Matt Doherty is proud of his young group for staying poised.
My guys went out there and battled and hung in there and hung in there. It's like a boxing match where you're getting punched in the face, on the mat, come off the mat, and you know, go to your corner and you stagger and you come back out to answer the bell. I was proud of them.
The women's regular season schedule is done. Thursday was the final home game and senior night. And what better way to celebrate than having pro wrestler and Carolina fan Ric Flair as the honorary guest coach. Coretta Brown doesn't disappoint in her final game in Carmichael as she leads the Heels with 17 points. Sophomore Leah Metcalf gets in on the fun with 14 points and 10 assists. Crystal Baptist tries to do her best Ric Flair imitation as she gets into it with a Maryland player, but the game calms down and Carolina easily wins 94-77. After the game, Flair complimented the Carolina program and coach Sylvia Hatchell.
When you're playing basketball in North Carolina, or playing any sport in North Carolina, you're playing at about the highest level possible, other than being in the pros. And I mean, that's a tribute to this university, but when you have a coach that's won a national championship, you can't buy those rings, you gotta earn them.
But in their final regular season game, Carolina couldn't keep up with red-hot Virginia. The Cavaliers out-rebounded the Tar Heels 51-36, and Carolina shot a season-low 30%. The Heels finished second in the ACC, and the conference tournament starts Friday. The regular season is over, but Carolina's men's swimmers aren't quite finished. They hosted the ACC Championships Thursday through Saturday. Tar Heels' Eddie Matkovich and Yuri Sugiyama won events on day 2. Then Saturday, senior Sean Quinn trying to win his second 200 breaststroke championship. It's no contest as Quinn beats the field by nearly a second. Tar Heel diver Eric Poitras can't grab a conference win, finishing second in the 3-meter. Last race, the 400-yard freestyle relay, Virginia takes it and wins the meet. Carolina places third in the event and the meet, but still more swimming left for some Heels. Quinn says he'll be ready for nationals.
Yeah, I have about a month now, so I'll go back and train hard for about another week and a half, then come back down, get ready. I think I should be able to do pretty well. I'll definitely be able to go a lot faster than I went tonight.
In his 30 years as Carolina wrestling coach, Bill Lamb has coached 36 All-Americans. His team has appeared in all 29 NCAA championships, and there have been 7 different U.S. presidents. Wednesday against Campbell, the Heels hope to send Lamb out with a bang as he coached his final regular season match at home. It's also senior night for Carolina, and senior Jimmy O'Connor has no trouble taking down Campbell's Adam Reese. Coach Lamb is pleased with freshman David DeShield as he records the Heels' 3rd pin of the night, and the Fighting Camels don't put up much of a fight, but they do spit, and Carolina rolls to victory 39-3. Lamb picks up his 378th win at Carolina, and senior Christy Giuseppe says it's important to send Lamb out on top at tournament time.
The man's been here for 30 years. He's done a lot of things for this program, goes without saying. And to go out and a bang for him would do tremendous things.
One more Carolina team is getting ready for the postseason, and it's a squad you might not know too well. The Tar Heel fencing team hosted an open meet Saturday to prepare for the NCAA regionals. No team scoring, so it's Tar Heel versus Tar Heel in the foil competition. Steven Piantadosi beats Adam Setzer 5-2. On to the Epay division, where the first hit scores a point. It's Sally Lampin defeating teammate Drew Goodson. The Heels will duel with other teams at regionals Saturday and Sunday at Santa Clara. Saturday was a big day for the rowing team. It was the first and last home meet of the season, all bundled into one. Because University Lake is too small to host a regulation meet, Carolina fans take advantage of their only chance to see the team at home. However, they don't have much to cheer about. With both of Carolina's novice crews racing in higher divisions than normal, the Heels look overmatched from the start. Duke cruises to a victory by winning each of scrimmage's 12 races. Well, the women's basketball game was infested by mascots at halftime, some from schools around the ACC, and they played a little pickup game, and we will leave you with highlights of the heated contest. Good night.